I see the ocean, but I can't help but notice the waves. The waves, as they come closer and closer to the shore, they move further and further away from the vastness and the depth of the ocean. Each wave hits the shore separately. And as each wave hits the shore, every drop of water separates into its separate elements.
Wow.
Every time it hits the shore, it cries out in pain. Because that drop of water hits the rock, is separated from its ocean, and then quickly scrambles to merge back.
Wow.
For a split second, this world that we see, it's a dream. We separate, yet we scramble to go back to our roots, because that's where we are at bliss and peace. Deep in the depths of the ocean, whereas the deepest points, it's complete stillness. It's complete shanti. But when that drop of water hits the rock, it cries out in pain. It scrambles to go back to the ocean. But poor is that one drop of water that hits the rock, gets stranded on top of the rock, and doesn't get to merge back. The sun shines down on top of it. It gets burned in that heat. Or it goes into that soil and it dissolves in that soil, but it remains separate from the ocean. In that state of separateness, that separation, we either are burned by our own pains and the heats of this world, or we get dissolved in the happiness of this world and forget to go back to its roots. As every drop hits that rock and it jumps out into the sky, it cries out in pain. Supne aaya pee gaya, main jal parya roye. I cry out in this sort of pain. E vichhoda sahya na jaye, Satguru mile to mile subai, ba biha khin khin bililai. Just like a rainbird crawls out, the drop of water is crying out in pain, and every time it hits, it goes into that emergence through the sound. Just like that sound is Waheguru, 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 Waheguru. And from crying out into pain, does it finally get to go back into the ocean where it's at bliss. But the wave will come and separate it again. And the waves will continue to come. And look at the play of the world. No matter where the water goes, in whatever cycle it goes, and one day it will end up back in the ocean. That is us. The real question is, when we cry out in pain, do we cry out in love and pain to go back to our true form? Or do we cry out in pain and continue going along the shore and continue to be separated? What type of pain do we cry in?
So looking at your analogy, it's like those drops that are coming onto the shore, running for, I suppose, like I say, like we're running for Maya as well, like those drops. Some of them are making it back, but some of them are not. And then they get stuck onto the shore, like we get stuck into this world, this play that is just all fake, it's a drama, where we get stuck into it and we forget how to get back.
Another thing I notice is when the drops collide, they don't just hit the shore. Because they are separate, the water hits each other as well. एक दूसरे नाल भी टक्कर दे टक्कर के इन्हां दा रंग बदल जांदा. The color of the water changes from what the ocean, it becomes white foam. रंग बदल गया, रूप रेखा बदल गई. The intellect has been born, the self-identity is born. The samundar vich, its vastness. The one drop of water has no entity in the ocean, even to the extent that being that is within the ocean, like the fish. Toon dariyao dana bina, main machali kaise ant lahan, jeh jeh dekhan teh teh tu hai, tujhte niksi phoot mara. Look into the vastness of the ocean. You can't, when you look at it as a whole, you just see it as the ocean. But if you look into the nitty gritty, you see the wave. Then you see the drop of water. you see the pain. But really, when you look at the world, can you look back and see Waheguru everywhere? Jeh jeh dekha, teh teh tu hai. It's just you everywhere, wherever I look. Not the separated being and the entities and the pains and the sukh and the happiness that it's crying out for. But just step back, and within all of this, the waves that are crashing, hitting the shore on here and maybe the other side, and the fish that's inside of this ocean is just living in bliss. Hai anand hai, because evi simran kar rahe hai. They're doing Simran as well, meditating on God's name. Every wave that goes, it's in uniformity, it's in unity, it's in bliss. Anand vich, Waheguru, Waheguru. Jab hum hote, tab tu nahi, ab tu hi main nahi. Anal agam jaise lehr mein odad, jal keval jal mahi. Water is still water. The waves have a separate entity. You call it a wave for that split second, it's separated. Sometimes the wave turns into tsunamis. Sometimes that wave causes destruction. But anta vich hai ki hai, it's the play of the ocean. And can you sit in that bliss, in the depths of that ocean? One day there was two salt cubes that talked to each other. One salt cube said, or salt crystal said, "How deep do you think the ocean is?" The other one said, "I think it's this deep because my ancestors told me, my family told me." A third one comes along and says, "No, you're wrong. Do you know how deep the ocean is? I've studied it, I observed it. This is my estimation, my prediction on how deep it is." The third one comes with a theory, the fourth one comes with another theory. They continue to argue and argue and argue on how deep the ocean is. But the one salt cube, originally asking the question, he says, "Why don't we just go into the ocean and see how deep it is? Shal mari hai, let's just take the leap of faith and see what's at the bottom of the ocean." No, I can't go. I got a family. I don't know what's there, it's too dangerous. So one salt cube says, "What if I make you a promise? What if I jump into the ocean and I go to the bottom of the ocean and I come out and I tell you how deep is the ocean? Will you believe me if I go and do it right in front of your eyes?" I said, "We'll believe you." So he jumps into the ocean, and the salt goes deeper and deeper into the ocean, but as it dissolves, going down and deeper and deeper and deeper, it becomes one with the ocean. It doesn't become a separate entity anymore. The salt is the ocean. Everybody continues to wait. When will he come out and tell us? But now it's become one with the ocean. It speaks a different language of love. Jaise gunge ki mithiai. It cannot speak in those words that those other salt crystals are trying to understand it in. It has become the ocean. It's speaking in that oneness and that bliss. But they're still separate, and like, when will it come out? And they continue their arguments. But only the one that has experienced that ras will know. I've experienced that now. It doesn't matter what anybody else thinks. The world can call me crazy as well. I'm not crazy myself, but my Ram, my Creator, has made me crazy. Crazy in the divine love. Sometimes you have to renounce everything and you just have to take that leap of faith. Engross yourself in Simran. Take a break from the world and look at Paramatma. Look at the reality of the world. Reassess everything. And say, "Sachi, is dunya vich kite sukh hai? Is there peace and pleasure in this world that I've been chasing?" And then when that state or that realization sets in, the world is the form of pain. And Paramatma, O Creator, you are the form of bliss, of Anand. Then your mind will allow you to detach from that and go into what the bliss wants.
That gentleman, that bliss you get from just drinking a bottle of alcohol or, I don't know, something else, whatever he was talking about. Just for that moment, we're looking for that Anand that's going to last for forever through that Simran, like we were trying to help him with. Hopefully he'll understand that. A lot of us look for that temporary bliss, The only way we're going to get that true bliss is obviously with Guru Sahib and falling in love with Guru.
I asked him, why do you drink? He said, because I feel empty on the inside. I'm lonely.
Feel lonely.
Not complete. Vichhadya hoya. And that feeling to belong, the feeling to fit in, the world wants that. Every child at school wants that.
Waheguru.
Every woman in her family wants that. Every father wants that love from the children. To fit in, to be one, to be complete. But where that feeling is not met, anger arises, frustrations arise, pain arises, and we continue to seek to be complete.
Waheguru.
And we continue and continue, but we're still left empty in this world.
Waheguru. It's like filling a glass up that's got a hole in the bottom. It
Yes.
just keeps empty.
But Maharaj तेरे दर ते आके अंदर बैठ के you feel complete. एक गल सच्ची है. If you feel complete within yourself, no matter where you are in the world and whatever situation you're put in and what goes on around you, you will feel complete and you will be at bliss. But if you cannot be bliss on the inside here and now, it does not matter where you go in the world, you will never be complete.
Waheguru.
People say, I want to go on vacation, I want to go to the ocean, I want to sit at the top of the mountain peaks. I need to travel to Egypt or Paris and France and Australia, and I need to get out of my routine. Take a break, there's nothing wrong with that.
Of course.
But ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਹੀਏ ਉੱਥੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਮਿਲੂਗਾ, if we say we're going to find bliss there, then we're mistaken, because bliss is not from there.
That only lasts for a few moments or a few days.
A few moments.
Yeah, but we need that bliss is going to last forever.
I've seen people laying at the beach, bathing in the sun, and on the phone stressed out a work call still.
Waheguru, Waheguru.
ਉੱਥੇ ਆ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਭਰਾ ਇੱਥੇ ਸਮੁੰਦਰ ਤੇ ਆਇਆ, you're on vacation, you've taken 4 days, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਰਿਲੈਕਸ ਕਰ ਲੈ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ, ਹੁਣ ਤਾਂ ਆਨੰਦ ਲੈ ਲਾ, ਪਰ ਨਹੀਂ.
Like that gentleman was saying, he's seen these colours that it seemed bright to him at that moment. He's getting those few seconds, but those colours that he's seeing doesn't last very long. What's that, like Pankti, Kacharang, Kasumaka, Toria, Dancharjiu. That rang just lasts for a few moments, but then it disappears.
Sadhu kende hai na, the saints say, the farther your eye can see, the more open your heart becomes. The further you see. The peaks of the mountains, you look at the far vastness of the trees. You see the vastness, why? Because you recognize how small you are. You recognize how insignificant you are. ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਪਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਅੰਧਕਾਰ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੀ ਬੰਦ ਰਹੀਏ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਹੀ ਹਾਂ,
ਹਾਂਜੀ,
ਆਪਣੇ ਆਪ ਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡਾ ਬਣਾ ਦਿੰਦੇ. We make ourselves very big in this way. We're not even a wave. Or the drop of water that hits the rock and cries out in pain and separated. For that split second, look how for a second the water jumps out and goes back in. Inni sadhi zindagi hai. That's what our life is. Kinne challe vaj rahe hai, kinne joge hai. How many days and nights, how many tides does this ocean have? ਇਹਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਗਿਣਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤੀ ਜਾ ਸਕਦੀ. So what ankar do we have? What is there to be proud of for yourself? What sukh are we chasing? So the question there is, what is the Guru then? We're the water and there's the ocean. So Guru di ki lod pegi. Sometimes we're so separated at the top of mountain peaks. Sometimes in our drainage system. And sometimes in a cup of water sitting on your kitchen table. How does that drop of water even have mere hopes to get back to the ocean? That drop of water has to go into the river. It has to remain within the river banks, and that river bank is that maryada, is that teaching, constantly in remembrance of death, the code of conduct, the discipline. If the water continues along that river and that stream and stays within the river bank, which is the maryada, then it will reach the ocean one day, because it's doing that sangat, it's doing that system. And the Guru is that river that pulls all the water together and says, Chal, it is the ocean, wahi pani hai, koi fark nahi hai. But it's manifested into the tarti, come into the shore and says, come join me, I'll pull you into the ocean. Here's another analogy. You want to get from here across the ocean. The world ocean is the world, and the people are drowning in it.
Hanji.
And what if you can't swim though? You start trying to get across. You go a little bit out of your depth, and you start drowning. You call out for help. Then you see a little sailboat. You need to grab onto its asra, or you know put the arm padding on top.
The
armband, or they have that life.
Yeah, the
circle. I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, rubber ring. I think.
Yeah, the ring.
Yeah.
To save your life. Well, the asre de naal. You can swim and you can do your main, and maybe you can get across. But what if the waves are too strong? You can still drown. Sometimes your tiny ship is not strong enough to get you across. What if you have to get across the ocean? It's a very vast ocean, and it's dark and it's stormy, just like this world is of Kaljuk. Sometimes you have to jump onto the big boat. And there you can sleep and you can be on luxury. You can sit in Anand. That is the Guru Sharan. That is the Sangat there. You can try to swim across and try to grab your own little life padding in boats and stuff. You're definitely about to drown. But if you jump onto the Guru's ship, the Guru's Jahaj, Waheguru Naam Jahaj Chadee Kalaa, you sit on that ship and you're guaranteed to float across. All you do is you sit in Anand. But you can't be on two boats at the same time, can you? Bus, jump on that cruise ship, sit in Guru Sharan, take the laha as the Guru carries you across. Gurdwaras tar mare. Hum dolat bedi paap pari hai. That my bedi, the boat that I'm on, my little boat, it is wobbly. It won't sustain. It will fall. It will sink. It is punctured with holes of my sins. So Maharaj, your jahaj, your ship, I can cross over the ocean again and again and again and again. So Maharaj di sharan vich apne. Maharaj takes the physical of this world and describes to you the non-physical. Maharaj uses the example of the lotus flower and the bumblebee. He used the example of the wave in the ocean. He used the example of the light and the sun. He used the example of the darkness and the candle. He used the example of the bird and the grain of rice. They used the example of the moth and the fire. Worldly examples. They use the example of the bride and her love for her husband. They use the example of a mother loving her child. They use the example of a child loving sugar and candy and games. All of these analogies we see in the world. Maharaj takes what you see and explains to you the divine. Can you see the divine in this world just like Guru Nanak Dev Ji taught you to see? Gave you that nazar? That's the question. You can look at that same world and you can see the pop and the sin and the distraction. But you can look at that same world and just the only thing that comes out of your mouth is Waheguru. Waheguru. The tide gets closer and closer and closer. As the tide gets closer and closer and closer, the sound gets louder and louder and louder. We're sitting at the edge of the shore. The gentleman was saying in about an hour it's going to be high tide. The sound is getting louder. It's harder to hear my own voice. But we are absorbed in that sound. And we lose our own voice in that sound. We have our own entity and that little voice inside of our brain that's thinking and separated from Maharaj. But when Maharaj da shabad sade man vich gunjan lag pinda, when it begins to echo inside of our mind, Waheguru, Waheguru, and the waves are crashing louder and louder and louder, getting closer and closer and closer. And eventually we'll be engulfed in that. You don't even know. We can sit in the same place, call out to the ocean, and the ocean is coming towards us. It's not the drop of water going towards the ocean. It's the ocean that's engulfing us in its sound and in its vastness, in its depth now. And we may cease to exist if we sit here.
There's a famous Punjabi saying, Jaisi Sangat, Taisi Rangat. It means the people you surround yourself with determine the color of your life. Your friends, relatives, work colleagues, the music you listen to, the shows you watch, even the people you follow on social media, they all have an impact on your mind. They start to change how we see ourselves and how we act. One of my favorite childhood stories is called The Lost Lion Cub. It's about a lion cub who gets separated from his family and finds himself among a flock of sheep. The flock takes care of the cub, and soon they accept him as one of their own. He ate, slept, and played alongside the other sheep, and so the lion grows up believing that he's also a sheep. Whenever a wolf was nearby, he would run and hide in fear with the rest of the sheep. Until one day, a lioness walked by and saw this strange sight of a grown lion among the sheep. The curious lioness approached the flock, and sure enough, all the sheep and the lion ran away. She managed to grab the lion and drag him away from the flock. "Please let me go. Don't kill me. I'm just a sheep," the lion called out. The lioness took him to a nearby lake and showed him his reflection. "Look at who you really are," she told him. The lion looked at his reflection, and when he realized who he really was, he roared with all his might and never felt like a sheep again. I used to think that this was just a funny story, but I came to realize that it carries a deeper lesson. We are all like that lost lion cub. We act and think based on what the others around us are like. I'm a firm believer that spending time with the right people can have a profoundly positive effect on our lives. This is why we've set up a group learning experience called Living with Wisdom, where we provide you with everything you need to start your own wisdom groups. It's a relaxed and friendly way for like-minded people to come together, learn and inspire one another. In my own life, I've been blessed to have spiritual teachers and friends around me who've influenced the way that I think. So if you're looking for a way to deepen your own spiritual practice, then visit livingwithwisdom.org and find out how you can start your own wisdom group today.
ਧੰਨ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਸ੍ਰੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਗ੍ਰੰਥ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਗੁਰੂ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਸਾਧ ਸੰਗਤ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀਓ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ. We're blessed again to be gathered together on this social media platform where we're learning from the teachings from the times of our gurus so we can break free from the birth and death life cycle and join with the Akal Purkh Waheguru. Today we are celebrating the Gurta Gaddi Divs of our father, the 10th form of Guru Nanak Sahib Ji, the 10th form of Waheguru, Sahib Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj. We know Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj came to this world at the place where Tak Sri Harmandir Ji, Sri Patna Sahib is now. And that was the place that they came to this earth. They are the only Sahibzade of our 9th Guru, Sahib Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj. And Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj had gone to the east side of India doing Gurmat Prachar, stayed at Patna Sahib, went over to Assam, while Mata Gujri Ji, the mother of Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji at Patna Sahib, and Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji came to this world at that place. We know then that Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji and Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji later come to Sri Anandpur Sahib. But while they're staying at Sri Patna Sahib, they are already showing signs as the great saint soldier. Veh pargateo mard agamada variyam ekela. Vaho vaho Gobind Singh ape gurchela. Variyam ekela means the only, the ultimate warrior, the supreme warrior. Variyam, warrior, ekela, the only one. In other words, the ultimate one. And Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji would play battle games at that place. When they were young, they would catapult the pots that the ladies would carry to the well. When complaints were made to Mata Gujri Ji, then Mata Gujri Ji got them brass pots, if you will, pitchers. And Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, through their Mama Kirpal Chand Sahib Ji, would then develop arrows with iron tips, and then they would do target practice with bow and arrows moving on from catapults. So they would bless the people of that area, and then, like I said, they come back to Sri Anandpur Sahib. They were around 7 years of worldly age when they reached Sri Anandpur Sahib. At the age of around 9, because we know Aurangzeb, the Mughal emperor, is oppressing the Hindu faith. He is converting all the Hindus, Sawa Man, which is around 100 kilograms. Sawa Man of Janus, the sacred thread Hindus wear, are being collected on a 12 go, around 30 kilometer radius, where they are forcibly converted or they are killed if they don't take up Islam and they don't leave their religion. That was Aurangzeb's master plan to overtake India. The Pandits of Kashmir allow and get 6 months. We know they then come to Sahib Sri Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji Maharaj's sanctuary at Sri Anandpur Sahib. From their puja of Shivji, they are directed towards Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, who is the form of Waheguru, the form of Guru Nanak Sahib Ji on this earth. They come and do benti. They've already done a deal with Aurangzeb, saying, give us 6 months, and in 6 months we will all convert, but don't murder us. But obviously they're praying and worshipping to be saved. They come to Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji's sanctuary. They're saying, if a holy spirit, a holy person will be the one who can save us, you are fourth Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, the Guru of the Sikhs, that can save us. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji tests young Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. They're 9 at that time, saying, these Kashmiri Pandits have come. They're asking for help. They're saying only a holy person, if they go and visit Aurangzeb, they can save our faith from being forcibly converted or all the people of the faith to be murdered. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji answers that test by saying, Pitaji, Father, great Guru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, who is more holy than you on this earth? You must go and you must save them. So from a young age, they've already shown that they are going to be the Guru, the 10th master. They send their father to give their cease. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, we know, their cease is to be taken. They are going to be the second Guru Shaheed of the Sikh Panth after Sri Guru Arjan Dev Sahib Ji Maharaj. We know the Gursikhs there, Bhai Mati Das Ji, Bhai Sati Das Ji, Bhai Dayal Das Ji, are also tortured and then made Shaheed. At the time of the Shaheedi of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji, the final test to Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji write sloks that are now contained in Slok Mahalla Nama at the end of Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji just before Ragmala. They test, they send messages for the Sangat, Mata Gujri Ji and their mother Mata Nanaki Ji, but then they also send one slok to Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji as the final test. Bal shut gyo bandan pare, kashu na hot upay, kaho nanak ab ot har, gaj jyo ho sahay. That all my strength, shut gyo, has gone. Bandan pare, I am chained and shackled. Kashu na hot upay, I cannot think of anything. How am I to be saved? In Nimrata, they're calling out for support, but they're testing Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji because they are the master of everything. They are the form of Waheguru, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji. Why do they need to call out for support? That's the test they're giving Guru Ji, Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. Kaho Nanak ab ot har, my only ot asra, my only support is Waheguru. Just like Waheguru came down and saved the elephant from a crocodile kind of Janwar in a previous age, only I can call out to Waheguru to come and support me as I am shackled. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji replied, Bal hua bandan shute, sab kish ho to paye, Nanak sab kish tumre haath mein, tum hi hot sahay. That you have complete power. All these shackles have been broken. Nanak sab kish tumre haath mein. You are the form of Guru Nanak Dev Sahib Ji, all powerful, almighty Lord Waheguru. You are their 9th form. Nanak sab kish tumre haath mein, tum hi hot sahay. You are the support of all. You are even my support. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji sent that slok, completed that slok and sent that back, which showed the Khalsa, the Sikhs, that Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji at the worldly age of 9 are ready to become the 10th Guru of the Sikhs. Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib Ji then sent a nariyal, the coconut, and 5 paise. They call for that. They send that with a Gursikh. In their mind, they focus on Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji because they cannot do the ceremony themselves. And Obviously, they give their cease, but that night Mata Gujri ji has darshan of Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji holding the 5 paise and the nariyal, the coconut and the 5 coins, and being put in the sanctuary of Guru Gobind Singh Sahib ji, an ishara that they are the next Guru. And then they see Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji, their husband, their Guru, without their cease. Mata Gujri ji tells Guru Gobind Singh Sahib ji, Guru Tegh Bahadur Sahib ji Shaheed. Gursikh reaches Anandpur Sahib and gives the Gurta Gaddi to Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji. The 5 paise and Nariyal reach there. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji becomes the 10th Guru of the Sikhs. We know from that point the Khalsa Panth foundation is laid. Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji brings forth the Khalsa, the complete Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. They sacrifice all their family, starting with their father, just for the Khalsa Panth to come forth. They give the Gurta Gaddi to the Khalsa and to Sri Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Today we're celebrating the Gurta Gaddi of our father, Tan Sri Guru Gobind Singh Sahib Ji Maharaj, Kalgitar Pita. Let's hope and pray we can live up to the teachings, we can follow the path of the Khalsa, so we can be blessed and we can break free from the birth and death life cycle. Deho sajjan asisadiyan Jehovah Sahib sume lekha kata hna shutiya khen khen pulan har baksan har baksala nanak par utar Waheguru ji ka Khalsa Waheguru ji ki Fateh.
Please like, comment, subscribe and share this video to spread the message of Sikhi. Make your daswan safala and donate so we can create more content like this. The link is in the description below.
Waheguru, 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 Waheguru.
क्यों किते महाराज ने पूछ लो देखो एक है क्यों उन्होंने किते एक बाणी आंदी है गुरु नानक देव पातशाह दी उन्होंने पूछा कि गुरु गोबिंद सिंह ने 2 ਵਿਆਹ क्यों किते गुरु हर राय साहब जी ने 7-8 ਵਿਆਹ किते ਸੀਗੇ गुरबाणी पाठ दर्पण पढ़ लो संत गुरबचन जी खालसा ने आप लिखे ने वो कहते ने कि गुरु हर राय साहब जी ਦੇ 8 महल ਸੀਗੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਭੈਣ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ ਸਾਰੀ ਇੱਕ ਰਾਜੇ ਦੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਸੀਗੀਆਂ 8 ਉਹ ਰਾਜਾ ਡਰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਯਾਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਚਲ ਜਾਊਗਾ ਮੇਰੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਾਸੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਹੁਣ ਇੰਨੇ ਮੈਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਵਾਂ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਸ਼ੋਭ ਸ਼ਾਨ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਮੇਰੇ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਬਰਬਾਦ ਹੋ ਜਾਣਾ ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕੀਤੀ 8 ਨਾਲ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰ ਲਿੱਤਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ 3 ਮਹਿਲ ਸੀਗੇ ਵੈਸੇ 2 ਨਹੀਂ 3 ਸੀਗੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਸੁੰਦਰੀ ਮਾਤਾ ਜੀਤੋ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੌਰ ਮਾਤਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੌਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਕੋਈ ਬੇਟੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਅਜੀਤ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਅਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਤੋਂ ਜੀਤੋ ਜੀ ਤੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਸੁੰਦਰੀ ਕੋਲ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੁਝਾਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਬਾਬਾ ਜੋਰਾਵਰ ਸਿੰਘ ਤੇ ਬਾਬਾ ਫਤਿਹ ਸਿੰਘ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਇੰਜ ਸੀਗਾ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੁਣ ਇੱਕ ਬਾਣੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਨਾਨਕ ਦੇਵ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਗੁਰ ਕਹਿਆ ਸਾਕਾਰ ਕਮਾਓ ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਾਹੇ ਤਾਓ ਜੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਨੂੰ ਕਰੋ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਕੀ ਭੱਜ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਹੁਣ ਦੇਖੋ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਿੱਖ ਇੱਕ ਸਵਾਲ ਪੁੱਛਦਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਪ੍ਰਸ਼ਨ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਇੱਕ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹ ਗਲਤ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਹੀ ਸੀ ਇੱਕ ਹੈਗਾ ਕਿ ਸਿੰਘ ਸ਼ਰਧਾਲੂ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਯਾਰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਰਵਾਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ ਉਹਨੇ ਜੋ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੱਚੀ ਸੀਗੇ ਅਕਾਲ ਪੁਰਖ ਦੇ ਰੂਪ ਸੀਗੇ ਜੇ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੁਝ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਠੀਕ ਹੀ ਹੋਣੇਗਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਦੂਜਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਤਰਕਵਾਦ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ ਥੋੜਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਕਰਦਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਤੋਂ ਪੁੱਛ ਰਿਹਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਨੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ 4 ਪੁੱਤ ਵਾਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੱਤੀ ਤਵੇ ਤੇ ਬਹਿਣ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਇਹ ਪੱਥਰ ਸਾਹਮਣੇ ਖੜੇ ਹੋ ਕੇ ਇੰਜ ਕਿ ਆ ਜਾ ਵੀ ਸੁੱਟ ਦੇ ਪੱਥਰ ਮੈਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਤਿਆਰ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਭੱਜ ਜਾਵਾਂਗਾ ਸਮਝ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਪਿਓ ਨੂੰ ਵਾਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਕੀਤਾ ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਉਹ ਕੰਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਤੇ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਭੱਜ ਕੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੀਟ ਕਿਉਂ ਖਾਧਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸਮਝ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੋਈ ਨਾ ਸਵਾਲ ਵੀ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਮੰਨਣਾ ਹੈ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੌਣ ਸੀਗੇ ਗਲਤੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਵਿੱਚ ਕ੍ਰੋਧ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਾਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਉਹ ਪਰਫੈਕਟ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਜੋ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ 3 ਵਿਆਹ ਕੀਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਬਸ ਸਾਡੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਹੁਕਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਏਕਾ ਨਾਰੀ ਜਤੀ ਕਹਾਵੇ ਜਤੀ ਬਣਨਾ ਆ ਇੱਕ ਨਾਰੀ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬਥੇਰਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਵੀ ਜਤੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਰਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਗੁਰ ਕਹਿਆ ਸਾਕਾਰ ਕਮਾਓ ਗੁਰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨੀ ਕਾਹੇ ਤਾਓ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਇੰਜ ਵੀ ਹੋਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੇਖੋਗੇ ਇਤਿਹਾਸ ਵਿੱਚ ਚੰਡੂ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਆਇਆ ਚੰਡੂ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਕੀ ਸੀਗਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਸ਼ਹੀਦੀ ਦਾ ਉਹਨੇ ਬੰਦੋਬਸਤ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ। ਉਹ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਚੰਡੂ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਦੀ ਬੇਟੀ ਦਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਅਰਜਨ ਦੇਵ ਜੀ ਕੋਲ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਆਇਆ ਸੀਗਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਹਰਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਜੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ। ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਕਿ ਇਹ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਨਸਾਨ ਮਤਲਬ ਮਸ਼ਹੂਰ ਸੀਗਾ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ, ਅਮੀਰ ਸੀ। ਦੇ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਸੁਜੈਸਟ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਚੰਡੂ ਸ਼ਾਹ ਨੂੰ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿੰਦਾ ਅੱਛੀ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਮੈਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹਾਂ, ਹੰਕਾਰ ਕੀਤਾ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਨਿੰਦਿਆ ਕੀਤੀ। ਤੇ ਗਾਹਾਂ ਉਹਨੇ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੋਏਗਾ, ਉਹਨੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਭੇਜ ਦਿੱਤਾ। ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਕਿਹਾ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨਹੀਂ, ਉਹਨੇ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਨਿੰਦਿਆ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ, ਉੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਹਿਬਜ਼ਾਦੇ ਨੂੰ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਿਆਹ ਦੇਣਾ ਉੱਥੇ। ਤੇ ਸੰਗਤ 21 ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ 20, ਇਹ ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਸੰਗਤ ਦਾ ਹੱਕ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਬਣਦਾ ਹੈ। ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮੰਨਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਸੰਗਤ ਦੀ ਗੱਲ। ਸੰਗਤ ਨੇ कहता नहीं ਵਿਆਹ नहीं करना, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨੇ ਇਨਕਾਰ ਕਰਤਾ। ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਨਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਦਾ ਇਨਕਾਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਵੱਡੀ ਚੀਜ਼ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ। ਉਸ ਕੁੜੀ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਕਦੇ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਵੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਸੀਗਾ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਕਿਸੇ ਨੇ ਰਿਜੈਕਟ ਕਰਤਾ। ਤੇ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਦੇ ਕੋਲ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰੀ ਆਇਆ, ਦੂਜਾ ਵੀ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਮੰਨ ਗਏ। ਤੀਜਾ ਆਇਆ ਤੇ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ कहता ਕਿ ਦੇਖੋ ਇਹ ਮੈਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਾਂਗਾ ਬਟ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਪੈਦਾ ਹੋਣੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਮਾਤਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੋਲ। ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੰਨ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਜਿਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਪਤਾਸ਼ੇ ਪਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਅੰਮ੍ਰਿਤ ਸੰਚਾਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ, ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕੌਰ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਨਾਲ ਨਹੀਂ ਵਿਆਹੇ ਸੀਗੇ। ਉਸ ਵੇਲੇ ਮਾਤਾ ਅਜੀਤ ਕੌਰ ਨੇ ਪਾਏ ਸੀਗੇ ਪਤਾਸੇ। ਤੇ ਵੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫਿਕਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨੀ ਚਾਹੀਦੀ, ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਕਾਮ ਤੋਂ ਉੱਪਰ ਸੀਗੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਗੁਰ ਪਾਰ ਬ੍ਰਹਮ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਆਪ। ਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਚਿੰਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਨੇ ਕੋਈ ਕੀਤਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਸੋਚੀ ਆਪਾਂ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਉਹਦੇ 4 ਪਤਨੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਸੀਗੇ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। इन पुत्रन के शीस पर वार दियो सुत चार, चार मुए ता क्या हुआ जीवित कई हज़ार। ਉਹੋ ਜਿਹਾ ਪਾਤਸ਼ਾਹ ਸੀਗਾ ਸਾਡਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਗੋਬਿੰਦ ਸਿੰਘ ਜੀ। ਜੋ ਕਹਿਣ ਮੇਰੇ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਚੰਗਾ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਕਹਿ ਦੇਣਗੇ ਤੂੰ ਕੂਦ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਛਾਲ ਮਾਰ ਕੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਮਰ ਜਾ, ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਰਨ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਤਿਆਰ ਹੈਗੇ ਹਾਂ, ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਜੋ ਗੁਰ ਕਹੇ ਸੋਈ ਪਲ ਮਾਨੋ, ਹਰ ਹਰ ਕਥਾ ਨਿਰਾਲੀ। ਉਹਨੇ ਜੋ ਕੀਤਾ ਉਹ ਉਹਦੀ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਸੀਗੀ, ਆਪਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਸਕਦੇ। ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਅੰਤ ਨੂੰ ਜਾਪੇ ਕਿਆ ਮਨ ਮੰਤ, ਮਨ ਦਾ ਕਿਉਂ ਮੰਤਰ ਚੱਲ, ਕੀ ਉਹਦਾ ਦਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਸੀਗਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਜਾਣ ਸਕਦੇ, ਉਹ ਬੇਅੰਤ ਸੀਗੇ।
Khalsa Fateh Ji.
Oh, Fateh. Oh, God, okay.
How are
Good,
you,
good.
young man? Good to see you again.
Yeah, after so long.
See, I'm going wider now since then.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's change the background. That works. Oh, you're the student now.
Yeah, I'm the student now. Oh, there you go.
Put in the background there. Front row. Pretty fun. Okay. More people join.
How many students have you been getting?
I haven't got, honestly, like a lot. Like it's been going down. But I still been posting the YouTube and everything directly. So
Yeah,
the YouTube help, but then yeah, because of Zoom, because everybody's got busy with their own things now. So
yeah. Can you take me out of the classroom here, please?
no, you wanna take that? Sure. You wanna do that? Okay, you wanna take that. What do you wanna do? Auditorium?
Just keep it normal. Just keep it
Normal?
normal.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just trying it
All
around.
my meetings are usually normal anyway, so
How do you do that now?
the way it was.
I don't know how to do that. Let me go back and on my video. See that the
Now
one?
you can't get out of it, right? I feel like a
No.
little kid.
Little kid. Hold on, let's just see if that goes. Arc out, auditorium, no. Then you go manual. See that? No.
Well done.
Wow. I think I can figure it out. Let's try to keep that out. You just can I
It's all
get
on your end. Definitely not on my end.
on my end? Change
Hurry
it.
up before everybody else joins in. I sent the invitation out every day, so let's see how many people we get.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
I mean, if I can tune in all the way from Africa, I can't see why people can't tune in from Brampton.
Yeah, exactly. Yep, yep. Let's see if that cooks out. Can I change it? No. How do you go back out here? Let me try to.
And where would you mess around? Shall I get out and come back in?
Yeah, try doing that. Oh no, we came back in. Okay, we're
That's
back,
good.
back to normal. Let's see how we get now. Okay,
See, I
let's
hope
see.
people can know how to put in Waheguru 21. Is that Waheguru with a capital W?
Yeah, capital W. Because if you can get in, everyone should, everyone else should get in. So there should be no problem.
Yeah,
I just had one person just said you joined, but I don't know why it's not in. So let me try to see. That thing. Is Jagjit Singh here or no? Can you hear me?
yeah, I can.
Oh, this is Jagjit
Just
Singh?
sending a text message to somebody.
Okay.
I really would have thought quite a few people would have joined in.
Let's give it some time. Give it a few minutes.
Yeah.
If they don't join, that's
How's
okay.
work? How's work and everything been?
Everything's good. I'm still in my school. Last year, school finally done. Graduating next year, finally.
Oh,
That's all.
good.
Yeah,
So what you gonna graduate in?
business, my business program. So finishing
Ah,
up.
right.
Yeah, almost there. But everything is still online right now for us, so it's which is good because of the pandemic, the
Yeah.
so-called
So
pandemic.
this program that we got is called the why we created the Sikh parenting course.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
And the person that's going to be coming on is Jagjit Singh.
Okay, let's see. Where did that thing go?
Yeah, Jagjit Singh, that's the name of the person. But the thing is, I wanted him to have at least few people to talk to, not just two of us.
Here's another one. No, there's more. Oh, one.
I don't know if we need parenting. Yeah, I certainly don't need parenting at my age.
Okay, here's another one. Oh, okay, so she can join. I'm pretty sure everyone else can join now.
Yeah.
That's strange.
So we've got Ramandeep Kaur joining in.
Yeah, see, I just admit them automatically. So we got 2 or 3 so far.
It's okay. We're not going to do a countdown.
Oh, another one. 4.
One is a good thing because we're all here to do seva.
Yeah.
If not, yeah,
So they're slowly going to come
we'll
in.
give a bit of moment for everybody to join in.
Yeah, give it a
Yeah,
few minutes.
that's
yeah.
fine. Yeah, you can unmute yourselves, Ramandeep and Pardeep, so at least I can see you guys or hear me anyway. Hi
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ
Ramandeep,
ਕਾ
how are
ਖਾਲਸਾ
you?
ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ ਹਾਊ ਆਰ ਯੂ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ
ਠੀਕ
ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ
ਜੀ,
ਵੀ
ਤੁਸੀਂ
ਆਰ
ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ
ਲਾਈਕ
ਜੀ?
ਹੋਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਵਧੀਆ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਾਓ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਭੁੱਲ ਗਏ ਲੱਗਦੇ ਕੈਨੇਡਾ ਨੂੰ
ਕਿਰਪਾ ਕਰੋ। Benji, by the time I get back on the 15th of December, it's going to be 1.5 months I've been away from home.
ਓ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਵੇਟ
Yes,
ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ
I'm
ਕਦੋਂ
coming.
ਕਲਾਸ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਹੋਊ ਇਨ ਪਰਸਨ ਪਰ ਆਈ ਗੈਸ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਹੋ ਹਨਾ
No, it's मेरा काम ही इतना था ना मैं aviation के काम करता है my job involves a lot of traveling. Jida,
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਹਾਂਜੀ
I'll let the rest of Sangat know too in a while when they join in. But I've literally been traveling all over Africa, and it's big business here for our company. And into Africa, they really need safety for their aircrafts, for the helicopters. So the business has been immense. But I do miss a Friday class, and that's why I'm actually gassing up and just preaching the way. I'll join you guys, even though it's 1 a.m. in the morning here. It's Amrit Villa now. So
ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਸੋ ਮਚ
no
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ
problem.
ਵੀਡੀਓ ਆਫ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ
I
ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸੁਣ ਰਹੀ ਹਾਂ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
Hanji, no problem.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ
I got Pardeep Khaloti there as well. Pardeep, you want to mute yourself for a second?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ
Aska Penchi, ki hala ji?
ਬਸ ਠੀਕ ਠਾਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੁਣਾਓ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ
Kirpa Guru ji. How's Jessica? How's beta ki kitta hal theek sara?
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜਸ਼ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਠੀਕ ਚੱਲੀ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਜੈਸਿਕਾ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਆਣਾ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ 8 ਵਜੇ ਪਹੁੰਚੂਗੀ ਇੱਥੇ
ਅੱਛਾ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਕਦੇ ਦੇ ਸਵੇਰੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਇਹ ਦੱਸਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਹੁਣ ਮਿਲਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਆ ਬੈਠੇ ਇੱਥੇ ਆਲੋ ਕਰ ਲੋ ਗੱਲ
ਸਤਿ ਸ਼੍ਰੀ ਅਕਾਲ ਭਾਜੀ
ਕੀ ਹਾਲ ਹੈ ਜੀ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਲੱਗਾ ਹੀ ਪਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਗਏ ਆ ਬਾਹਰ ਉਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ ਸੀ ਨਾ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਜਾਣਾ ਸੀਗੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਉਹ ਏਵੀਏਸ਼ਨ 'ਚ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦਾ ਨਾ ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਅਫਰੀਕਾ ਗਏ ਨੂੰ ਮੈਂ ਵਾਪਸ ਹੁਣ ਦਸੰਬਰ 15 ਤਰੀਕ ਤੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਮੈਨੂੰ 1.5 month ਹੋਏ ਨੇ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
yeah so yeah ਕੰਮ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਤਾ ਕੀ ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਏ but I'm thinking of retiring next July anyway ਫਿਰ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਨਹੀਂ ਪਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ ਕਲਾਸ ਐਵਰੀ ਫਰਾਈਡੇ ਲਾਸਟ ਦੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਤਾਂ
ਓਕੇ ਜੀ
ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਸਾਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਆਉਣਾ ਔਖਾ ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਹੀ ਆਏ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ
ਨਹੀਂ ਗੁੱਡ ਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਗੁੱਡ ਕੀਤਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਓਕੇ ਥੈਂਕਸ ਭਾਜੀ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜੀ ਆ ਕਰ ਲਓ
no problem ਭਾਜੀ no problem thank you
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਭਾਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਆ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁਆਇਨ ਹੋ ਗਈ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖ ਲੈਣੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਮੈਂ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਵੇਟ ਕਰਦਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾ ਇੱਕ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੁਲਦੀਪ ਸਿੰਘ ਉਹਦਾ ਨਾਮ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆ ਰਹੇ ਇਸ ਪੈਰੈਂਟਿੰਗ ਸਿੱਖ ਚਿਲਡਰਨ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਸਿੱਖ ਧਰਮ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਤੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸੋਹਣਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਨੇ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਗੁਰਦੁਆਰੇ ਵੀ ਕਲਾਸਿਸ ਲਾਉਣੇ ਹੈਗੇ ਆ ਪ੍ਰੋਗਰਾਮ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈਗਾ ਵਾਈ ਵੀ ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟਡ ਦ ਸਿੱਖ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਕੋਰਸਿਸ
ਓਕੇ
ਹੁਣ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਤਾਂ ਲੋੜ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਕਾਫੀ ਵੱਡੇ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਹੋਰ ਪਲੈਨਿੰਗ ਹੋਈ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਛੋਟੇ ਯੰਗ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਕੋਈ ਜ਼ਰੂਰ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਸੋ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
ਕਰੀਆ ਤੇ ਹੁਣ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਆ ਰਹੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ
ਹੋਰ ਫੈਮਿਲੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਸਾਰੀ
ਸਾਰੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਵੈਰੀ ਬlesed ਐਂਡ ਹਾਂਜੀ ਬੇਟੇ ਦਾ ਵਿਆਹ ਵੀ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਇਸ ਅਗਸਤ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸੂਗਾ ਸਾਰੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਕਲਾਸ ਦੇ ਸੋ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
ਯਾ ਉਹ ਹੁਣ 28 ਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਟੀਚਰ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਫਿਆਂਸੀ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ ਸ਼ੀ ਇਜ਼ ਅ ਲਾਇਰ ਸੋ ਮਾਰੇ ਕਿਰਪਾ ਹੈ
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ
ਚਲੋ ਲੈਟ ਮੀ ਗੈਟ ਐਵਰੀਬਾਡੀ else joined ਓਕੇ
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਭਾਜੀ ਓਕੇ ਜੀ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਦੀ ਫਤਿਹ
So just see there's Pannu's joined in, Harpreet's joined in. If you guys can unmute yourselves, I can say Fateh to all you guys. Harpreet, can you unmute yourself?
ਖਾਲਸਾ ਵਾਹਿਗੁਰੂ ਜੀ ਕੀ ਫਤਿਹ
Bhai Khalsa ji, ki haal hai bhen ji?
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ
Very good. So we're going to have a special guest joining in today. Well, actually, I'm a special guest too. So maybe I'll let Jesspreet, who runs the class when I'm not available. Jesspreet, maybe you can introduce everybody into the Sangat back to the Friday class again.
Yeah, of course, yeah. So you already introduced everything. You already did all the introduction for us.
Well, no, you're the special guy. Yeah, come on, you've
Oh,
been doing seva for the whole year.
oh yeah. Oh, they know everything, the routine. There's nothing special. So,
Yeah,
you know,
everybody thinks you look younger than ever.
oh, I'll just type it in here. Yep, I'm just gonna put it in. I'll
Yes,
type it in.
yes, definitely younger than ever. And I
Yeah,
sound a little bit older.
everybody can see the chat box.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, put that in the chat box.
So, Sangatji, we're waiting for a guest, Udanahiga Jagjit Singh, and they're doing a program called it's about Sikh parenting course. And this has become really popular in different parts of wherever Jagjit Singh does seva. So if he joins us on time, great, because he just flew in today as well. So I hope he can get online in time to be on the Friday class. If not, it's kind of nice to be here with everybody. Um, it's like 1:10 a.m. in the morning. It's Amrit Villa here now in Africa. I'm actually in Nigeria. So I was here on a business trip with the company, and when I started travel, it was right at the beginning of November. We went to Kenya. From Kenya, we went to Tanzania because they had an aviation crash in Tanzania. So if any of you guys want to know more about what I do, if you go on YouTube and put in there Star Navigation, and you'll see a whole bunch of videos come up on there. And we've been on the media a lot here in Africa. We've also been on a lot of TV shows on the networks. And you guys can certainly see some of the things that we've been doing when it comes to safety of aviation, safety for helicopters, and general safety even on ground vehicles. So we've been working on some big projects here in Africa. It's been a huge market because this market really needs help on the aviation side. And one thing about Africa, they get a lot of tourists come here from Europe, from different parts of the world, even from India, believe it or not. And they're very big on safari here, especially in Kenya. We got parts of other like Rwanda. Rwanda's got a lot of gorillas and that in the jungles. In Kenya, is mostly about the Africa safari is big in Kenya. And then been to Tanzania. And then after Tanzania, I was in Ghana. And Ghana, right now, I'm talking to you guys from Nigeria. And in about a week, I'll be heading back to Kenya. And then from Kenya, we're going to have another show to do, a conference to do in front of the media and everything. This is the big Afro aviation show in Senegal. That'll be my last stop. And then I get back to Toronto on the 15th of December. So one of the reasons, I know Sangat's been asking that when's the Friday class going to start? One of the reasons that we really haven't started is when I'm gone for about a month and a half, I don't want to start the Friday class at Dixie Gurdwara and find out, we don't have much Sangat turnout because, either we're not there or we got somebody else running the class. So right now we continue doing the Friday class on Zoom, and that's what Jesspreet Singh has been instrumental in continuing going even when I'm not been there. So for us, it's not about how many people join in. If it's one person, good enough. Even if it's 10 people, better. If it's 300, good. Because for us, is Jinni Sangat Sunugi, if they Laha Miluga, if they learn anything from Sikhism, that's the most important thing. And, just to let you know that we started the original Friday class sometime around 1995, around that long. And it's been going on for more than 25 years, Guru Kirpaa. So, just for my own path on Sikhism, I took Amrit literally about 40 years ago, because this is also the year of my anniversary with my wife, 40 years. So 40 years ago, I took Amrit, and it's been quite a ride. We've been doing summer camps pretty much as far as back as 1988. We did classes even at Montreal, because I came in 1982. We did classes in Montreal around 85 or so. The first Nagar Kirtan was done in Montreal. That Nagar Kirtan, that was, I believe, in 1985 or 84. And that Nagar Kirtan was the first time Nagar Kirtan was ever done in Montreal. So our youth class were like the first ones that arranged all that, Guru Kirpaa. We made booklets which were half in English and half in French, so that people could understand what Sikhism is and why we're doing Nagar Kirtan. And then I moved here to Toronto in 1988, and we did our first camp at Malton Gurdwara in 1989. and and then we were doing classes, winter camps, summer camps, and then from there we started doing the seva in about 1995 at Dixie Gurdwara, where the Friday class was started with just 20 students, and it grew and grew and grew. Where at one point we had no place to sit down. I think Jessica's mom, Pradeep, she probably remembers that. No place to sit down, and we had about 700 plus students. And when I said student, that means parents, younger children, um, everybody was a student, and we're still students, right? So you never stop learning about Sikhi. So here we are now today, about 25 plus years later on the Gurmat Friday class, and now we're doing online. So, as much as we want to be at the Dixie Gurdwara doing the Friday class, and I do intend to, I'm going to be turning 60, believe it or not, coming July the 4th. So our idea is that, my idea is actually to retire from work. I might still continue doing work like part-time because, it's nice to be traveling and in the kind of field of work we are, there's not too many people that do this kind of work. So it's a unique field, right? Where you can actually, like, if you look at some of those videos on YouTube, they're calling me an aviation expert. Now, no way am I an expert, but I certainly know enough to know when the airline industry needs to be saved. So that's the key thing there. But we've done well on that side, and now our company is growing very well. So I can officially, yeah, I think I can retire next year, and then we want to do more classes. We want to do classes back at Dixie Gurdwara. They'll be live, and same we would like to do at maybe the Smesh Gurdwara, maybe other Gurdwaras, maybe Rexdale, because the more the better. There's so much Sangat that needs help, especially from the youth, from the parents. Um, it's not getting any better or easier. It's actually going worse now in many houses from the time we first started class. So, for us, ਜਿੰਨੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ educate ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਸੰਗਤ ਨੂੰ ਅਸੀਂ ਨਾਲ ਜੋੜ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਸਿੱਖ ਪੰਥ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ, ਓਨਾ ਹੀ better ਰਹੇਗਾ. I don't know if you guys follow Amritpal Singh in Punjab, but he's speaking very highly about Sikhi and the challenges he's coming against, but he's handling it very well. He's a young person. He took Amrit, and ਉਹ ਹੁਣ ਅਮਰ ਛਕਾਰੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਸੰਗਤਾਂ ਨੂੰ. ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਤਾਂ ਵਿਚਾਰੇ ਇੰਨੀ ਔਖੇ ਤਰੀਕੇ ਨਾਲ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਇੰਨੀ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰੀ ਜਾ ਰਹੇ ਆ, especially in Punjab with the police and all that stuff. ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੀ ਹੈਗਾ. So hopefully we can do more seva here in Brampton, in Toronto, without having the nuisance of the police following us and everything like they do in India. But at least we can wake up the youth again, wake up the parents. Sikhi sadat karna important ਹੈਗਾ ਸਾਡੇ ਲਈ, ਕਿਉਂ ਇੰਨਾ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈਗਾ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਸਾਹਿਬ ਪਰਮੇਸ਼ਰ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜੀਏ. Because at the end, I mean, if you look at me, you can see I've got more white hair than before, but I'm not getting any younger, and I'm only getting closer to death, right? So ਆਪਾਂ ਆਉਣਾ ਵੀ ਆ, ਜਾਣਾ ਵੀ ਆ, ਸੋ ਜਾਣ ਦੀ ਵੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਹੋਣੀ ਹੈ. ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਪਿਆਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਈਏ, is nothing like it. ਜੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਨਮੁਖ ਬਣ ਕੇ ਜਾਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, then there's suffering further up, not only here but in your next life too. ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਬਚਣਾ ਹੈਗਾ, ਆਪਾਂ ਗੁਰੂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਜੁੜਨਾ ਹੈਗਾ. So, I mean, this hukanama you get from me, well, seva from me anyway. It's not from me, but Guru Saaheb Jee. That hukanama actually goes to about, I would say, about 50 to 60 families all over the world, and if not more, right? I would say that it's in the hundreds that it goes to, because when I say families, so a lot of these families send it on to their relatives, and that's all. Now, this hukanama comes from the Nanak Sahib Gurdwara from Go Road, because that's the closest Gurdwara to my house. So I go there to the Simran that goes on in the morning there between 5 and 6 a.m. And before that is Nitnem from 4 to 5. So that Gurdwara, because it's close by, and even though the Smesh Gurdwara is very close by too to my house, but the thing is this on Go Road, that this Gurdwara has it in half Punjabi, half English. So the Smesh Gurdwara just has it in Punjabi. So for me, the reason why that's important is we ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਾਡੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਪਨੀਰ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ, ਜਾਂ ਸਾਡੇ the youth is, they're not understanding Gurbani. At least they can read it in English and understand what Guru Sahib is saying. So that's why it's very important that we have it half Punjabi, half English. Even for myself, I might not be able to understand it completely, the Hukanawa myself because being born in England, but at least when I read the English part, it kind of clarifies a few things. Okay, so that's why it's important. So Sangat, I got Jagjit Singh that's just joined us in, and Jagjit Singh ji, Waji Khalsa, Waji Fateh ji.
Waheguru Ji Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Fateh. Sorry, Virji, we're having some IT issues here in the place where we're staying.
It happens, and then it's kind of nice to see you. It's been a while, Vijay. I don't know if you sings. I don't even know how to call that in Punjabi, but his wife is my niece.
So thank you, Virji, for allowing me to speak today.
Yes, please.
So
you could do 7:45 because that's what the program runs to. So it's all yours. So please go ahead to speak to the Sangat.
So Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. So to the Sangat, that basically I'm here at the World Sikh Parliament event that's happening in Brampton over this weekend. And I'm going to be staying in Brampton for the whole week. Then next weekend, we're going to be doing the Sikh parenting course. So this is a course that I developed about 10 years ago. And we've been doing it worldwide. Apaar kafi thaan kita hai worldwide, Australia, UK, Europe, in California, New York. But pehli bari aapa Canada ch kar rahe hain. So Sikh parenting course ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ 2 venues ਆ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਦਾ course ਆ ਅਤੇ ਪੰਜਾਬੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਅੰਗਰੇਜ਼ੀ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ so in both languages and ਇਹ ਆਪਣਾ Saturday on the 3rd ਇਹਨੇ ਹੋਣਾ ਆ at Khalsa Community School in Brampton and 10 ਵਜੇ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ 5 ਵਜੇ and then it's going to be repeated on Sunday at Brampton City Hall. So utte main fair karna repeating the same hall. So Sangata, you can either link on to one or other jera bhi thwade naal zyada suitable ya Saturday or Sunday. And then ਇਹ ਕਾਤੇ ਆਪਾਂ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ because ਕਈ ਲੋਕ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ parenting ਕਰਨੀ ਆਉਂਦੀ ਆ ਜਾਂ etc. So that's the I've got 4 children and ਮੇਰਾ brother ਕੋ 3 children ਆ but ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ 30 ਸਾਲ ਹੋ ਗਏ ਸੇਵਾ ਕਰਦੇ doing talks, camps, etc. around the world and I've seen thousands of children, Sikh children. So ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ pressures ਕੀ ਆ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ issues ਕੀ ਆ ਅਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਕਈ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਤਾਂ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਰਨ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਵਧੀਆ ਪੇਰੈਂਟਸ ਆ ਜਦੋਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੋਰਸ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਰਿਅਲਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬਹੁਤ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਦੀ ਲੋੜ ਹੈ ਅਜੇ and this is the whole thing that everyone's a good parent or everyone's a good grandparent but how do you become a great parent and a great grandparent? In other words, ਇੱਕ ਬਹੁਤ ਤੋਂ ਵੀ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਵਧੀਆ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਣ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਆ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕਲੇਸ਼ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਘਟਾਉਣਾ ਆ ਇਸ਼ੂਜ਼ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੋਣੀਆਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ worldwide ਅਸੀਂ ਦੇਖਿਆ ਆ because 30 years of experience of talking with children at camps etc. ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ ਸਿੱਖਣ ਦੀ and because I've been doing it around the world ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ I pick up on things. So 2 years of COVID, how that's affected many children. Kei families ਚ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ are less confident. They've missed an element of their childhood. Many families struggle with technology and their children. So ਇਹਦਾ part 3 ਆ ਕਿ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੇ technology ਨਾਲ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ because ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ parents ਉਹ struggle ਕਰਦੇ conversation ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਬੱਚੇ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮੋਬਾਈਲ ਫੋਨ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ at the age of 7, 8, 9, 10 and ਮਾਪੇ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ but they don't realize what kind of world and what is the implications of it. ਕਈ ਮਾਪੇ ਉਹ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ suppress ਕਰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ because ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ lived experience ਅਨੁਸਾਰ ਉਹ ਫਿਰ ਸੋਚਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਬਚਾਉਣਾ ਹਰੇਕ ਚੀਜ਼ ਤੇ ਇਹ ਨਹੀਂ realize ਕਰਦੇ actually you want ਬੱਚਿਆਂ to grow. So ਇਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਛ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ discussion ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੋਣੀ ਆ in terms of in the Sikh parenting course. Takriban 10,000 people have done the Sikh parenting course now around the world. And it's a free course, Das Nishkam Sevaya, but on the venue, I think they're charging $10. That is just to cover the food and the venue costs. So here you have to go on Eventbrite to log in. It's a one-off thing because in Brampton, Toronto. And then I've got to move on. I've got 63 cities that are waiting for this course. So I'm going to be then going on to Frankfurt in January and then we're doing Vancouver in February. So if anybody's got any questions about the course, koi ehde bare koi questions ya, you can put your hands up and ask these questions. But ehde apne kol 10 hisse hone ya in terms of the course. Jera first part ya that starts at 10 o'clock. I'll be showing short videos, and we also give you a booklet. Jado asi course shuru kita siga, bahut sare parents, because it's very intensive, है ना? And बहुत सारे parent कहते, can you slow down because I want to take pictures of slides, or I want to do this. फिर ਅਸੀਂ एक booklet ਬਣਾ ਲਈ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ free ਦਵਾਂਗੇ with the course, and so ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ notes ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਚ refer ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ. So kei parents ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ what is the actual, when we look at the criteria of the course. So the first part of the course is Guru Saheb ਕਿੱਦਾਂ parenting ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ parenting ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ, ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜੀ mistakes ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਚਾਹੀਦੀਆਂ. So that will be from 10 o'clock to midday. Then midday we have a 20-minute break. And then after the 20-minute break, we start section 2, which is the things we say. ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਬੋਲਣ ਦਾ ਤਰੀਕਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸਾਡੇ ਘਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਾਹੌਲ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਬਣਦਾ ਆ. What is a dysfunctional family and what is a functional family? And ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਪਰਿਵਾਰ, even no matter how good the family is, when they look at the list where I go through what is a dysfunctional family and a functional family, ਉਹ realize ਕਰਦੇ actually we are dysfunctional. But ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਅੱਜ ਤੱਕ realize ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ. But to change a dysfunctional family to a functional family, ਇਹ ਕਾਫੀ ਸੌਖਾ ਹੈ. It's little tweaks, ਕੋਈ ਬਾਲੀ ਵੱਡੀ change ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ, but there's things that we need to tweak in our family structures or ਕਰਨ ਲਈ. How to raise confident children, what is emotional intelligence, and in terms of ਸਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਅਸਰ ਕੀ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ ਜੇ ਘਰ ਚ ਕਲੇਸ਼ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਕਿ ਉਹਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਸੋਚਣੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਸਾਈਕੀ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਅਸਰ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ. And then so that is part 2. ਫਿਰ ਉਦੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਫਿਰ 20 ਮਿੰਟਾਂ ਦੀ break ਕਰਕੇ then we start part 3. And part 3 is the effects of technology on children. So technology ਦਾ ਅਸਰ ਕੀ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ ਨੁਕਸਾਨ ਕੀ ਆ, ਉਹਦੇ benefits ਕੀ ਆ, ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ benefits realize ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ without the ਨੁਕਸਾਨ of it. ਗਾਂ ਦੀ future ਕੀ ਆ, ਇਹ artificial intelligence ਨੇ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਸਾਡੀ life ਨੂੰ ਬਦਲਣਾ ਆ, ਅਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ best prepare ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ for their future lives and future jobs and roles that they're going to have. So it's a very in-depth course, and a ਬੇਨਤੀ ਆ to all the parents, ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਓ ਤੇ grandparents ਨੂੰ ਲਿਆਓ, because ਅਸੀਂ grandparents ਨਾਲ ਵੀ involve ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ generational ਅਭਿਆਸ ਕੀ ਆ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇੱਕ generation ਤੋਂ ਦੂਏ generation ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੇਵਾ ਅਭਿਆਸ, ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸੋਚਣੀ ਆ, ਇਹ ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ transfer ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ. So ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਉਹ ਕੋਰਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਆ. Anybody got any questions? It's a bit odd when you look at a screen and everyone's just got their names, and but apart from that is blank. So je kisi kol koi sawal ya jo anything that they want to talk about covering this topic of parenting, then we can have a discussion. Otherwise I will just carry on talking, but it's good to have some interaction.
Jagjit Singh, it's Harmeet Singh here. The one question I do have, Jada, to see this seva kare hai, going around helping people, making them understand the way the Guru Sahib had created, and that really works. I mean, it works in my family too, and I've also got 4 daughters and 1 son, so we do understand where you're coming from on this. My question is this: that jado tusi dhyan ke program karte hain ya courses karte hain, and then you're gone, let's say you've gone back to England or you've gone on a seva to some other country, is there something that we can continue using? Because there was a time when we had almost like 700 students in this Friday class, and we're all students, we're talking about teenagers, parents and everything, and we've covered a lot of information on Sikhi, but to talk generally about parenting it's one big topic on its own, and I can see what you're doing and the seva you're doing. Can you leave us something behind, or something can continue as we get new students joining our Friday classes as well, that we can continue the same kind of role? Like we bring up topics like Kirtan, the importance kiya, Sangat, the important kiya. We've covered every topic, but if we want to cover this topic on parenting, at least we have something that every once a month we can cover this topic. Is that possible?
Yeah, that's very possible. ਸਾਡੇ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਹੈ ਵੀਰ ਜੀ ਕਿ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣੀ ਕਮਿਊਨਿਟੀ ਇਕੱਠੀ ਆ, because ਆਪਣੀ ਇੰਗਲੈਂਡ ਛੋਟਾ ਆ, So regularly ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਉੱਥੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਕਾਸੇ events ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਆ, information ਹੁੰਦਾ. We got Khalsa family camp, we got Khalsa camp, and so ਉੱਥੇ there's a lot of things for children. But the key thing is ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ realize ਕਰਨਾ ਪੈਣਾ ਆ ਕਿ ਸਾਡੇ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਹਮ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਿਖੀ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, they're getting into good jobs and important professions, ਹੈ ਨਾ? But just because ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵਧੀਆ ਤਨਖਾਹ ਆ ਜਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਵਧੀਆ job ਆ, it doesn't mean that you're happy. And in Western democracies, 60% of the population suffers from depression. Normally it's based around finance, it's based around family pressures, it's based around numerous factors. So ਜਿੰਨਾ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ capitalist society ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਿੱਖੀ, balance, ਨਿਸ਼ਕਾਮ ਸੇਵਾ, ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਨਿਮਰਤਾ ਆ, ਇਹ ਸਾਰੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਗੁਣ ਆ ਮਹਾਰਾਜ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ, they're more in need now than ever before. Nanak Dukhiya Sab Sansar. So I basically been blessed to basically speak in so many Gurdwaras around the world, so many cities, from as far as Hong Kong to Singapore, Australia, New Zealand, Africa, UK, Europe, here, Canada, America. Jitte bhi tusi dekho na, apni community is very similar. We are either first, second, or third generation. Kai to bhi zyada hai, like Hong Kong is very purani community, many generations old. So in California and Vancouver, but majority is first, second, third generation, है ना? And just because we are successful, but dekariya sara kuch jo sade kol hega ya, par fir bhi nanak dukhiya sab sansar, है ना? That basically, if we look at us, Sikhi is like a bird, है ना? A bird has two wings, है ना? So you have your spiritual side and you have your worldly side, है ना? And because apne kol immigrant experience de vich apa nange a, ਉਹ ਇਮੀਗ੍ਰੈਂਟ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਵੇਂ ਥਾਂ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਨਵੀਂ ਚੀਜ਼ ਐਸਟੈਬਲਿਸ਼ ਕਰਨੀ, ਆਪਣੀ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਦੁਨਿਆਵੀ ਸਾਈਡ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬਹੁਤ ਅਟੈਂਸ਼ਨ ਕੀਤਾ, ਹੈ ਨਾ? ਐਂਡ ਇਹ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਨਹੀਂ, ਇੱਕ ਦੋ ਜਨਰੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੱਗ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਸੈਟ ਅਪ ਹੋਣ। ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ, ਸਾਡਾ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸਪਿਰਿਚੁਅਲ ਸਾਈਡ ਵੀਕ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ। We become very mayatari, and our things is, and just because we are successful in big houses, because we haven't all necessarily got all the tools for happiness. And sometimes it's a rediscovering of the spiritual side, and sometimes it's just a way of finding a balance in who we are. And this is the thing is, well, in a capitalist society, we need to sometimes work more on the other aspects of our lives, which are going to give us a lot more value and a lot more sage. I mean, if I was just to do a quick survey with the Sangat here, jinni apni juriya, can any of you tell me when you are the most happiest? I know, what is the thing that makes you most happy? What were you doing at that time? And anybody want to be brave and put their hand up and just say something? Anna?
Yeah, you can't have both of us doing the only talking. Anybody else? Harpreet, Pardeep, any of you guys got, when are you most happy? We a question for Chess and Sarena. So if you can unmute yourself and then you can say something, but it would be nice to integrate with everybody, just like we do at the Gurdwara on a Friday class day. Yeah, we've got a lot of shy sangat here.
That's fine. So most people, when you see weddings and you see bokos jo aapa dekhte hain in the community, most people will think, oh yeah, we're really happy, we have a party, let's say it's a wedding party, biyah hunda hai, then you have alcohol, bhangra and everything else. Yeah. And people are just expressing their happiness, but that doesn't mean that is when they are most happy.
Right.
Most people, if you honestly reflect, most of the time you're most happy when you're sitting there in a state of sage, and you might be just looking at your family, or you might be in a Gurdwara darbar, or you might be basically just reflecting in nature. That is where true happiness is,
Yeah, and you're right. Being doing seva like this, just like you are doing seva, I mean, we're blessed to be able to do this. And the most happy I am when I'm at the Ranswai Kirtan, meeting all the Sangat, doing seva, langar seva, or we're just sitting there listening to Kirtan, and just feel blessed that all the Sangat that's around us, how lucky we are to be part of this, where on a Saturday night, people will probably be out there partying, drinking, like you said, but Guru's chosen us to be part of the Sangat. That's the time when I feel the most happiest, tell you honestly.
Yeah, and so essentially what it is we have to think then in terms of how can we make that last longer? You know, what can we do in our lives to make these feelings become a more regular part of our lives? You know, because the other things in our lives are never going to end. So if I was to, again to say to Sangat, so if I was to say to Pequenium, so I'll pick on you, Virji, because obviously you're on the camera.
No problem.
But in terms of, if I was to say, who are you? And many people will often explain, say, yeah, I'm a Sikh, or I'm this. Or so if I was to answer you that question, who are you? How would you explain who you are?
Well, the way when I've been asked before, even if I get asked by some other community, mostly in the Sikh religion, because I've spoken in the Jewish community, I've spoken in the Muslim community. I've been a spokesman since, I would say, since 1985 or so. And even at Nagar Kirtan, I get asked to speak. So who am I? I'm just a shoe cleaner for the Sangat. That's what I've always said. And because I'm a shoe cleaner for the Sangat, Guru said, kirpaa kar de. Even when we're doing these classes away online, Guru Sahib ne blessed us that we cannot talk. If you haven't been blessed, Paji, you will not be doing this seva. So we're very fortunate that we can go around the world and do this kind of seva. And one thing I love doing is bringing different Gurdwaras from different parts of the world. I got a YouTube channel, and I love bringing, you know, like Waheguru Sahib Connect Lok Sangat Jandiya from Canada. But I like to bring it to them if they can't go. So who am I? Just a seva, just a shoe cleaner.
Oh, okay, so many people define themselves from the Sikhi. Many people define themselves from a seva. Some people define themselves from a job role. Some people define themselves from other things in terms of their background or other things in terms of their culture. But essentially, what it is what I would say to you is ultimately, you are a mind, body, and a soul.
True.
If we look at our day-to-day, what we do is which of them three things is most important. And then if we analyze the mind, body, and a soul, the mind is temporary, the body is temporary, only the soul is permanent. But if we look at our daily tasks, virtually everything we do in our daily tasks or daily routines is based around our mind and our body. And very few people feed the soul. So Virji, you said you are most happy when you go to a Ranswai. Why? Because you're feeding your soul. Kirtan is Atma di Khuraak. And this is the thing, is sometimes people don't know the difference between what is feeding their soul and, you know, and what is the daily things that we do as human beings. And as a result, what most people have defined themselves is from their daily things. And so what we're not doing is actually feeding our soul, and true happiness comes from your soul. So until we don't learn more about what it is feeding your soul, until we don't realize what more, you know, how better we can at nourishment our soul and any other aspects of that, that's how we're going to start to discover more about true happiness. And that's why in a Western country, Western democracies, etc., people are moving more and more away from spirituality and more towards technology, entertainment, longer forms of technology. So discuss karna. We're running out of time because it says less than a minute. So basically I would say is to all the Sangat that's on this call, come to the Sikh parenting course, either go on Eventbrite, Virji will share of it, either on the Saturday or Sunday. It's a one-off event, and then I'm sure you will learn a lot, and it will only enhance everything that you.
Before you go off, can you quickly take my cell number down? If you can take my cell number, because I'm in Africa, but I can connect with everybody from here. I'm on business here, but my phone number is, if you can write it down, that way we can keep in touch. And we have an app. I want to add you to it. So it's 416-894-7039. So that's 416.
Yeah.
416-894-7039.
Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh. Since 1992, since I kept my gears, I've been involved in organising and talking at Gurdwara camps, larger national Khalsa camps and universities. It's been 30 years, and over that period I observed a lot about how Sikh children and teenagers think and what they experience, regardless of which part of the world they are based. Too often Sikh children are profoundly inspired at camps, but when they go back home, they're not always supported by the parents. Some parents are part of the lost generation, which I regard as my generation.
They were born in UK and abroad, and they have little knowledge on Sikhi themselves, so they struggle to answer questions on Sikhi when their kids ask them. Rather than accept this cycle where Sikh kids get disillusioned, we thought we need to prepare content for Sikh parents. So we created this course to help parents support their children. It started with a few talks and lectures, but what we found was that the effects were profound. When you have parents and children discovering their Sikhi spirit within, at the same time supporting each other, it can be an amazing journey. After trialling the content for a few years in Sunday Gurdwara Divans, we thought we need to scale this because it's a worldwide problem in our Sikh diaspora. Hence, we thought of creating the Sikh parenting course. We now have had thousands of parents and grandparents attend it, and it's helped give them ideas on best practice on how to be better parents and grandparents. Everyone is a good parent or grandparent, but there's no harm in trying to be a better one. The course is in 3 sections. In the first, we discuss how we do parenting compared to how our Guru Sahiban did parenting. What mistakes we make as parents. What is the cycle of influence on our children and teenagers? What is the generational gap and its effect on the style and parenting that we receive? How the immigrant experience has affected our families. The impact of absent parenting or substance abuse. How not to have gender discrimination in our parenting. How to make your child your best friend. Then, in the second section, we look at one aspect of our parenting in detail. Our use of language and the tone of our parenting. How we use words to attack each other and unsettle our families and relationships, whether at home, work, with relatives, or at the Gurdwara. Then we consider how Guruji instructed us to use our tongue and words positively to jap naam. We look at our families and how they became dysfunctional over time. How destructive this behavior can be on our children. How can we change a dysfunctional family to a functional family and the dramatic difference this makes on the confidence and aspirations of the child. Often this is just a few tweaks in our behavior that we teach on the course. Or it's creating a common family plan that both parents and grandparents can adhere to. The last section is about the effects of technology on children. This is often an area that many families struggle with, and we share good practice on how we as adults and children should use technology in our lives without letting it affect us negatively. The feedback on the course has been amazing in the many cities that we've already done it. It's been very thought-provoking for many families. Years later, I've had children approach me stating since doing the course, the atmosphere in the family home has improved. I've had couples saying they were close to divorce, but then they realized they were looking at life in the wrong way. Relationships between parents and grandparents have improved as they work to a united plan to raise the children in a spiritual environment. The Sikh parenting course teaches practical Sikhi, which we can easily implement in our homes. Due to the significant content, we give each attendee a booklet so they can look back and implement different strategies at different stages of their lives. We are delivering the course in many cities in UK, Europe, USA, Canada and Australia. The course is fully supported by the World Sikh Parliament and Khalsa Foundation. Khalsa Foundation YouTube channel has many testimonials from those who have already attended the course. If you wish to book the course in your town or city, then please contact Khalsa Foundation. The course is completely free and all seva is nishkam. Once we have Sangat from a city that wish to host the course, then we can start planning dates. All advertisement material is available from Khalsa Foundation. For us, all the Panth's children are our children. If we can create a system to raise a generation of spiritual, confident, balanced and aspirational children, then it will significantly help our Khalsa Panth. Sikhi should always be practical and it should start from our homes. If we can get this right, then it's an amazing start to helping our next generation deliver on the amazing virtues and values of Sahib Sri Guru Nanak Dev Ji to humanity. Waheguru Ji Ka Khalsa, Waheguru Ji Ki Fateh.